Hello. Today we'd like to talk about how to find the inverse of a function. And we've already looked at some of these in the past, but we're going to look at a couple more, a little bit different. A reminder that these are our 4 steps. The first thing we are going to do is replace our f of x, or whatever our notation is for our functions, with a y. After we do that, we're going to switch the x and the y values. This is where we're creating our new relation. We're going to solve for our y. And once we've solved for our y, we're going to go back, if it is a function, and replace the y with an f inverse. This only happens if it is a function. If we don't have a function, then we're just going to leave it as a relation and go from there. This is our first function that we would like to find the inverse of. So we're going to start by swapping out the f of x notation, putting in y equals an x squared plus a 7. From there, we are going to switch the x values and the y values. When we do that, we have created a new function. This back here was our f of x function. But once we get to below here, we are looking for our f inverse function. Or if it's not a function, at least a y inverse, a relationship that is going to invert what we had before. So we're into our new function. I like to put a line there to kind of help separate that from one side and the other. We are now going to continue to solve. So we get y by itself. We put in a square root, and anytime you put a square root into a function, you need to include a plus or minus. And this becomes then our new relation. Our new relation. It's not a function. If you put in an x value, you could get out more than one y value. And that's what's going to make it stay only a relation. The best we could do is rewrite it with perhaps a y inverse notation or something like that. But even that can be a little bit misleading, making us think this is a function. This is not a function. If I put in a 16, I get out both a positive and a negative 4. But that is the relation that we are going to find at this time. Let's take a look at one more here. If we take a look at this, we have y equals an x plus a 5 quantity squared, and once again at this point in time we take out our y's, we put in x's, we take out our x's, we put in some y's, and we've created a new relation. So I like to kind of bridge that gap. Here's the old relation up here, okay, here's the new relation down here, or hopefully our function, we'll find out. From here we continue to solve. We're going to take a square root of both sides. When we put in a square root, we need to put in a plus or minus. From there, we're going to subtract 5 from both sides. And when we subtract 5 from both sides, we'll be left with a negative 5 plus or minus a square root of x equals our y. Once again, this is going to be our result. This is going to be our answer. It's not necessarily a function. If I put in a 4, I could get out a negative 3 and I could get out a negative 7. Either one of those would be true. Either one of those could be undoing what this function had originally done. I hope that helps in your understanding of how to find inverse, in this case, I guess, relations.